and gentlemen, and welcome to COASTER-net Update. We've got breaking news once again out of Orlando, where just this past week we saw the first glimpses of the world of Pandora at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So we saw some media groups go through a limited amount of areas. They got to experience the two big rides. They got to experience the land itself. And Danny, I've got to say, everything coming out of Pandora right now, which has, mind you, been the butt of many jokes over the last few years. No stranger to being joked about by Halloween Horror Nights and their Bill and Ted show. It's become a running joke on Facebook and amongst coaster groups. But I'm beginning to think that this may be the resurgence of Disney here. And maybe this is just the precursor to what we ultimately see with Star Wars Land. But everything I've seen so far has just blown me away. Some of your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I mean, it looks incredible. And my initial thoughts are, well, if you're going to take 5 years to build it, it better be incredible. And we've only seen a few photos and videos, but I mean, we've seen some videos of inside the boat ride, the Na'vi River Adventure, if you will, and we've also seen the queue or parts of the queue for both attractions, and they both look incredible. And you and I haven't discussed it much here because it was announced so long ago. This was announced well before you and I started doing shows. This was actually announced before you and I even met in person, Andy. So this is something that you and I have not touched on almost at all over the history of our show and you and I creating content together. But at the end of the day, this looks incredible. And like I said, it better be, if you're going to wait this long, it better be worth the wait. But the initial indications look like this may be worth the wait. It looks like it may be incredibly immersive, incredibly high-tech, and incredibly, I guess, realistic for something that isn't actually real. And in a sci-fi type of world, you kind of talk about like Star Wars and Harry Potter, and you talk about those sort of things that aren't actually real and are a fictional universe. And this is a little bit more than that, a fictional universe, because you're not talking about just humans. You've got the main character is a fictional character, so this has to be immersive and this has to be convincing, and it looks like it just might be.
And I think the biggest takeaways from a lot of the stories that I've read, that if you're just going down for two rides, you're missing most of what this is even about. That like you said, the immersiveness of it, the spectacle. That I think one of the things that a lot of people took away from the Avatar movie, a lot of people panned it and said that this is not a good movie. It's formulaic. It's derivative of things like Pocahontas or Dances with Wolves. There's nothing real special going on here. But I think most people took away the design aspect, the how the environments were so cool, especially at nighttime. And I think it's cool that Animal Kingdom, the one part that hasn't really had that nighttime experience, always closing early, is now getting a nighttime experience that could arguably be maybe the best of the bunch of all of them. If you give me a fireworks show or some light show on a lake, I'm probably going to take this over that, every time. So I think it's really cool that we see that maybe so much, the movie isn't, because I questioned it myself when I first heard this. I'm like, Avatar, they're swearing in it, there's a lot of gunfire, but it seems like they're removing it from the first movie. And what they're doing here, they even said that maybe the Na'vi are kind of like a very rare sighting within this land. That it's more about the environment, more about environmentalism and protection. That you'll see them in the rides, maybe see them in the land out and about. But they said that because of the limitations of who we are as people, you can't have actors playing the Na'vi convincingly because they're about 5 feet taller than us. They're a lot skinnier. With the way that their bodies move with their tails, it'd be very difficult to do inside of a live setting. So there's a lot of question marks out there on what this is going to be, but the rides sound amazing. The Banshee ride seems like this immersive 3D experience. The boat ride sounds a lot like Pirates of the Caribbean out at Shanghai that people have raved about, that they're kind of using a lot of the same technology there. So Harry Potter's really cool at Universal. I really love Harry Potter, the Wizarding World. I like the rides. But this might take the cake, and coming from a place of ridicule to this, I think is amazing.
Well, and let's keep this in the back of our minds too. This has been going on for 4 or 5 years now that this has been going on. I mean, in the planning stages, when you think about that, and you think about just recently we've talked about starting to plan Star Wars. Do 5 years after that, and the evolution of technology and what we're seeing now could possibly blow us away. Just imagine what we're going to see in 3 years when Star Wars opens. Because personally, I think if the Millennium Falcon ride is not the greatest dark ride of all time, it's going to be a disappointment. Because with the cult following of Star Wars and just the huge buildup and how long people have wanted this, it has to be the best ride of all time. It has to be. Otherwise, it's going to be disappointing to most. So if this is satisfying people and blowing people away, I think there's potential to see that happen a few years down the road.
Absolutely. I'm excited to see. I can't wait to see other stuff out of Avatar Land. I may even take a trip down myself. That they might have sold a ticket right here to one Andrew Barchek, So, as always, thank you for joining us, and right on, Ride Warriors.
See you next time, guys.